Welcome to this week's episode of the Relly and Deli podcast. I'm Relly.
And I'm Deli, and today we are talking about Insidious, Out of the Further.
Restoration, haunted. They came back. They said it was done, but they're back now.
Again. It's
Ghosts,
Bad Bath and Beyond.
cameos.
It's beyond.
Elise,
it's further.
take me, please.
What else going on?
So, as you may have gathered, we are talking about Insidious, Out of the Further.
Yeah.
This is the 6th installment in the Insidious franchise. I do want to give you a little synopsis here. And it stars Amelia Eve as Gemma, a mother who discovers she can pull entities from the purgatorial realm into the real world, alongside returning star Lynn Shay. So, yes, as you guys may or may not know, we'll break our movies down into 4 categories. Those categories are story, acting and dialogue, cinematography, and sound design. This movie, we're going to try to just talk about the movie without spoilers, spoiler-free towards the top of the review. And then we're going to switch to a full spoiler review somewhere in between. And we'll let you know ahead of time before we start doing all that. All right.
Actually, first, we need to address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
So, Insidious Out of the Further, the 2026 sequel to the 2023 film The Red Door, honestly has a lot of weight to carry on its shoulders.
Okay.
Insidious The Red Door was, billed as the final film, the final chapter of the Insidious story. And technically was a direct sequel to Insidious Chapter 2 from 2013.
Right.
Now, until The Red Door, Insidious honestly could have been said that it was amongst one of the greats as the most consistent horror franchises that ever existed.
Absolutely.
When you go from Insidious to Insidious Chapter 2, immediately picking up in the same days after the fucking lady in black comes out and strangles Elise to death and runs amongst in Papa's body. Then we had a series of other films, such as the prequel that showed, Elise's start with The Further and the Dream Walking, and then sequels that also basically expanded on the fact that, time works differently into The Further, and how we can time travel some things that we do see in this film.
Yeah.
Now, Insidious The Red Door, I think, was highly sought after, and people were very excited. It did amazing in the box office, but I think that was due to the expectations of success and not because it was actually a phenomenal film.
Absolutely. I think people were really locked into this franchise, as I was.
Yeah.
I definitely thought or consider Insidious to be one of the best horror franchises.
Yeah.
And one of the scariest. Until The Red Door.
Yeah.
That really just derailed everything for me. And probably a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out in June of 2023 with a budget of $16 million, it had a box office success of $189 million.
Oh, wow.
However, from what I can see, at least I know inside of this house, fans were not too pleased and the film received mixed reviews. While it did have certain positives, like a return to form with the original family, returning the big bad of the man with the red face from behind the red door.
Yeah.
It was jumbled, it was lazy, it was lacklustrous. They did certain things like introduce, racist and misogynistic characters.
They did.
Stuff that, of course, exists in the real world, but really we hadn't seen in any of the films. It was very, what was that? Final Destination, is that 4? That for no reason was racist and had a Nazi redneck cross burning on the lawn, and then had a black guy try to kill himself by lynching himself. It was so preposterous that it was like, really? After all of this, you do this? And while this current film had one moment that made me raise my racial eyebrows, I definitely think that it did a better job than The Red Door did. We're going to jump into this story to talk about it. Starting now.
Oh, lovely. So yes, the story. I gave the story a 7.
Ditto.
I gave it a 7. I feel like there is too much in the trailer. As we mentioned from the synopsis, the main character here is Gemma, and she finds or realizes or discovers that she can not only can she go into the further that was established in earlier movies, the place where all the spirits and demons dwell. Not only can she go there, she can bring entities out of the further.
Yes.
And so for that reason, she's being targeted. Super simple premise. Once you understand the world, like, that's super simple. It's fine. But yeah, I feel like too much was revealed in the trailer. And that was really to a detriment of this movie. I do feel like this, I had high hopes, and that probably also was a mistake.
Yes.
Because I really thought this was going to be like a return to form, just with new characters. I thought this was going to be, better. It was better than the last one, but it didn't really return, like, it didn't really start a whole new something. And I don't know if they'll ever be able to really capture what was in those previous films, those first 2 or 3. I don't know if they'll ever be able to really recapture that for me. It feels tacked on. To me, this feels tacked on to the franchise. There is some cohesion, of course. You have a recurring character throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
So that ties everything together, but it doesn't really feel like... There's a few things in here that don't really make sense to me, and that'll be more that I'll get into in the spoilers, but yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like it was pretty predictable as far as the story. There were a couple of things that did surprise me, but again, I feel like those things would be considered spoilers because it was like really at the end.
Right.
That was like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I gave it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the film as a whole. It was way better than the Red Door.
Mm-hmm.
And I do actually think it was a return to form.
Okay.
As far as, back into the further, we got the stories, we introduced, a different form of traveler, somebody who has like an even higher power, and kind of like open up the world a little bit. I think they did a very good job as far as, getting Elise back and like, grounding this type of story.
Yeah.
The things that were bad for me was the predictability.
Yeah.
As well as there are certain elements of it that I think were reminiscent of other things.
Yeah.
Very Malum. Very Malum.
Yeah, it was. There's a whole, like, cult aspect of it. Yeah.
So maybe even bring her back to a degree.
Yeah.
And it just, they put too much in the trailers like you stated, so I definitely do agree with that. And while a lot of the stuff they put in the trailers was the beginning of the film, everything that was left at the end of the film, while it was deemed to be like a surprise, it was predictable, very much so.
Very much so.
But way more, I would give the Red Door as a film a 3 as a whole. Okay. And I feel like this film is definitely higher than that.
Yeah.
So I was pleased, and I left like, okay, I would want to see more. I think the things that you're looking for could only come from a prequel. We had the Elise prequel with her getting the key and going in and seeing the hallway of doors for the first time. And then we never really touched on that again.
Right.
And that was kind of like absurd.
Yeah.
I feel like if they did another film, there should be another type of traveler. I don't know what that would be. Maybe a day traveler, somebody who does it while daydreaming, somebody who's own imagination, because then the stakes would be even higher, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like someone who could literally be daydreaming and pull people from thin air or go there and disappear in real time just through their own imagination without needing to be physically asleep. So then it's like, what level of danger or stuff could that actually get? Especially if the main person is a child who's
okay.
imagines and daydreams pretty much all day, every day. We have like this young kid, orphaned or something, who is now in danger, and then we see like Gemma trying to help or track them down. Who knows? But like, I feel like I want to see more.
Okay.
And this did excite me to see more. I think because of the risks or lack thereof of the red door, they kind of had to like, let's take a formula, let's give it to them, let's stick this landing. Right. And most of the successes are gonna lie in the cinematography, honestly.
Yeah.
And for that, I think they were successful. And I hope this does well to get more. At least as good as the Red Door did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I do hope it does well to get more. I would be interested to see more. I do like the idea of having another type of traveler in the mix. I don't know what that power set would be.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of that. Something that threw me with the story, and then I'm going to get into like the director and the writers. Something that threw me in the story was that the opening sequence takes place in 1999, and then it goes 20 years later. Isn't that true? And that's like 2019. So that doesn't really make sense to me, because she mentions the previous family, like the family, at least mentions the family that she was helping, and that they just finished their saga. So that doesn't really make sense to me, because didn't that happen like in 2023?
The movie came out in 2023, but it was
Was that set in 2019?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, that was what really threw me, and that happened at the beginning. So I'm like,
because the first
my mind was still like racing on that while other stuff was happening.
Yeah, I managed to let that go, because the first film took place. In part two, was he 10? I thought he was like, actually, he was like 10 to 12 years old.
Right.
He was still pretty young.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he was 18 in college.
And as far as I knew, all of these were happening in the year they came out. It just, except for like the one that was like in the past and stuff.
Actually, I don't know if that's essentially true, right? Because
because part 2 and part 1 didn't come out right behind each other. So.
Exactly. The first Insidious came out in 2010.
Yeah.
And Insidious Chapter 2 came out in 2013, even though that was literally the same day.
Right.
Right? So, and if he was 10 years old, 8 years later would have been 2018, 2019. Right. So yeah, the Red Door should have taken place in 2019, actually. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna Google it, yeah. No, it does say it. It does say that it takes place in 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because
so that's cool.
The first one was 2010, and even though Chapter 2 came out in 2013, it was still 2010 in that film, because it was the same day.
Okay, so that makes sense.
He was 10 years old.
That's something that I was like, that doesn't really make any sense. So I'm happy that was able to be, ironed out. There are a lot of callbacks here in this story.
Absolutely.
And for the better or worse, because some of them I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Really?
Not really crazy, but it's like, I feel like y'all are trying too hard. Not crazy, but it feel like y'all are trying too hard to like to bring us back in, or trying too hard to be just like the first set. But yeah, we'll get deeper into that later. And I do like the idea.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, okay, they did something a little different where they made her a dentist, and that leads to a whole bunch of different types of like body horror-esque like nastiness. Yeah, I put that. Again, that's in the trailer as well. So
yeah.
But it does add a little something, and I do have a propensity for gnashing, grinding, and grinning teeth.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, we all are. So. But yeah, I do want to get I went a little bit about this director and this writer, because there's a set of writers, and there is the director. The director here is Jacob Chase. For some reason, he doesn't have a hyperlink on Wikipedia, but he has a hyperlink in Google. Let's see. He did the movie Come Play, Larry, Insidious, out of the further. The Four-Faced Liar, After School Special, Stars and Shorts, The Faithful, and Brave New World. So nothing that we've seen. I don't think any of those really are. Did you see that? I hadn't seen it either. But so we'll go look at the writers, which is like 3 writers. Or the story is by. And Jacob actually contributed to. He actually wrote the screenplay, and I guess he also was in the writer room for the story itself. We have David Leslie as a writer, as well as John. Oh, I think it's just one person. Oh wow. David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick.
Girl.
Yeah, I thought it was David Leslie and then Johnson McGoldrick.
Sorry,
the 2 writers. Love it. David, let's see what you've done. He's done. He wrote Orphan. Red Riding Hood, Wrath of the Titans. He wrote The Conjuring Part 2. Wrote Aquaman. Wow. Also The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Orphan First Kill, Aquaman Part 2. Okay, The Conjuring Last Rites. Okay, Insidious. So you definitely have your wheelhouse. They lock you in and you come back for the sequels. We love that for you, David. Keep on writing. All right, so the next category that we have here is acting and dialogue. And I gave this a 6.
Yeah.
Because it was really nothing spectacular. They weren't horrible actors, but if the average is 5, then 6 is a little bit better than average. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. There are some lines that I felt were shoehorned in. Like, my house isn't haunted. I am. That's a shoehorn in.
Right.
Or what else can you move? I feel like that was shoehorned in. I know that's going to pay off.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was weird to say, but it's foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was almost the dialogue is almost written like a Netflix movie, for better or for worse. I also give it a 6. So right now, we're aligned.
We're aligned
on that. The one main line that I found very interesting or found hilarious is when that old bald-headed bitch was in her damn dental chair and she says, "Ugh, your molars are rotting. When was the last time you had X-rays?" Like, ma'am.
I had that written down too. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was. We had to stifle ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we were like the only 2 people that I felt like that was funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, people were in there laughing at bullshit. So we also saw this in 40X. I'm so tired of going to South Lake to see films because the majority of the room were laughing at just dumb shit that wasn't funny at all.
They were laughing because they were scared.
But it wasn't even anything scary. The seats weren't even moving. Honestly, I can't stand people sometimes. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, but this shit was hilarious. This shit was hilarious, and we were in there screaming. Not a chuckle, not a murmur, not anything. This bitch is deep in his fucking jowls and was like, "Bitch, your mouth is rotting." When was the last time you had an X-ray? Yeah. She actually said, "Ugh." "Girl, you're crazy. You're crazy to do that. You're a dental hygienist, ma'am. Have some tact and decorum." But yeah, the film has some great cameos. Let me stop yelling.
You said
aside from that, Elise, awesome.
Elise was awesome.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Seeing her back.
Yeah, and I think they want to really make sure that you know that. Because it's even in the description, it's like, returning Lin Shaye.
She was in the trailer.
So yeah, she was in the trailer as well.
Talking to our resident magical Negro. Which, take it. We gotta go back to OG rules and templates.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing spectacular.
Yeah.
I think like at least it's a 10. You know, I think the little girl did a good job acting. I feel like Emma did a good job. So the little girl was Maya. I think Emma did a good job.
Yeah.
Cop boyfriend was handsome. He was fine. And then sister, medium, she was good. And it was what it was. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I did want to give you a little rundown of the actors, but I wanted to see if there's anything else I wanted to say about this before I moved on. Ugh, the molars. That was so funny to me. That was so funny. There was one, there's a character in here, which again you see in the trailer. I'm gonna give her some respect and give her a name. So we have Maisie Richardson Sellers as Claire. Claire, you were like, is that a girl from a different
it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
That would have made it more interesting.
Yeah, if she was. But I forgot that movie was technically a prequel. The girl that we saw from chapter 3 actually happened before chapter 1.
Right.
When she was trying to reach out to her mom in that old dilapidated building. But yeah, I would love to see more of Claire. You know, Elise had her crew, which appeared in chapters 1 and 2.
Right.
And I think technically part 4 with the last key.
Yeah.
When she received the call, maybe. I think they were in 3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in 1, 2, and 3. Those two knuckleheads.
Yeah, the two guys.
Yeah.
Lee Winnell and I forgot the other guy. But she does have her crew. And I wish this is a big ding for me, even though it's not really showing. Well, I guess it's showing some because I brought the story down. I would have loved to know more about Claire. It's just like to me it just felt convenient. Everything about Claire just felt convenient.
I mean,
it really wasn't. And I know we're trying to crunch all this into like an hour and 30 minutes.
We got stuff to do.
And then like she asked her, Gemma asked her like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you so like in on this, like making sure this goes well? This whole ordeal that I'm having. Like, why are you so in on this?
Yeah.
And her answer was like, yeah, I didn't know what my mom looked like, but now I do. I feel like she just it should have been more for her. I feel like that wasn't really. That was a weird line for me, which is why I'm bringing it up now and acting in dialogue.
Yeah, I actually thought. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fine. She was like, yeah, why do you care so much? Why do you help Elise? And she was like, yeah, my mother died in childbirth, and it was a person I never got to meet. I never got to know what she looked like, and now I do. Like, Elise helped me meet her and see her, and you know, I want to help other people.
Yeah.
Hey, but this is what I'll say.
Go ahead.
I feel like they wronged the both of us, but because of that, I had very little expectations. For whatever reason, I felt like you had so much expectation.
Yeah, I feel like
it could only go down.
Yeah, I feel like I did come in with higher expectations than I should have.
Yeah, and I had very no expectations because they already disrespected me. So I was like, oh, pleasantly surprised. Surprisingly enough, we still give it the same score, but our attitudes towards it are just completely different, which I find hilarious.
Yes.
But yeah.
Absolutely. We do have Amelia Eve here as Gemma. I'm looked at some of her stuff. Looks like she was in The Haunting of Bly Manor as Jamie.
Sure.
Yeah. But everything else doesn't really look like anything we've seen. A big thing for us was Brandon Pereira, who plays the cop boyfriend. We know him from Nope, as well as Twister.
Oh, yes!
That's where he's from.
Okay, cutie.
He just looks really grown in this.
Yeah.
I think he's just been playing younger than what he actually is. And this is like an actual grown man role. Whereas before, he kind of seemed like almost like a teenager.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I think that's the difference why we couldn't really place him. Because, go for it.
Because he also, I feel like he had facial hair, and I think he had colors in his hair, too. Like, before he was given, like, 21. I feel like now he's given, like, 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually 31.
Yeah.
So, very good, very good. I love that Maya, Gemma's daughter, is named Island Austin. That's her real name.
Okay, that's who that was.
Yeah. It's good times. It's good times. But yeah, those are our main cast there. We're gonna go on and jump to cinematography, and I do think this is the movie's strongest section for sure. But with all that being said, I gave it an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah. There is some good stuff going on there. There's some great shots, some great effects. The makeup is really good, but the score is already sealed in. It's an 8.
Okay.
So I can't change that.
Right.
Because I'm kind of feeling like I should have given it a little higher,
ain't
but
nobody asking you to change the movie.
Okay. Okay. So
go to bed.
there's a lot of topsy-turvy spins done,
Yeah.
and those are good. I still think it is a lot of their big, like 2 of their biggest scares was in the trailer, so that really like kind of fucked them up because those were really cinematic, situations.
Absolutely.
I love how nice though the house looks like in the light of day.
Yeah.
It's actually a very nice like storybook picturesque house.
Great neighborhood.
Yeah, great neighborhood. I love that
For all the damn
street.
ghosts.
If it wasn't for all the ghosts and spookery.
Demons.
But yeah. What'd you give cinematography?
I give cinematography a 10. I
very
feel
nice.
like it was the most successful part about the film. I think they executed very well.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen certain things like, dreamy sequences and like camera angles recently in the last Five Nights at Freddy's, which had some good effects.
Yeah.
Like the upstairs scene when Papa was chasing and she was having nightmares about her dad and going from young to old. And I feel like this film did some similar stuff that was really good. I think they used the casting of Maya, Gemma, and Gemma's mom,
Ingrid,
to really kind of disorient us in certain parts of like, girl, is this Maya or is this young Gemma?
That did happen,
and it was
actually.
very successful and was very good. Now, we also went to go see this in 40X.
Yeah.
Mild spoiler alert, it'll shake you around. If you can go and see this in 40X, I think it will enhance the experience. But only if you don't have dumbasses with you in the room, just, because like, even if the chairs weren't moving, they were just like jumping and screaming at just like nonsense. Like Gemma herself, like turned on a light and walked around a corner. There was nothing scary about the scene. And like, they were just screaming. There's certain caliber of people who scream for the sake of screaming. And I don't think those people should be allowed in theaters with other people. But 40X was pretty great.
Yeah.
It
was.
There's water effects and all sorts of stuff. But like, they have some great camera pans, zooms, pulls and pushes. And the seats will move forward and move back. When they like hard pan left to look at a demon or a ghost, your whole entire seat moves. The entire theater moves with it. And it had me at the edge of my seat. I think it was a very great experience. Visually, I feel like the details that they put into some of these disgusting ghouls were crazy. Ooh. The use of the dental work very much was body horror-esque.
Yeah.
It got some very gross moments where I had to look away because I don't like looking at gross shit.
It was gross.
Gross
it
mouth
was gross.
shit.
I was all in there.
I can't.
I refuse to look away.
Oh,
I have to know. That's the sickness in me.
Right. I look at the end because I need to make sure I see whatever it is that's coming from me die. But like, teeth and mouth things, fingernail things, I don't like those type of things.
Yeah.
I'm not a body horror type of gross. I don't want to see it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's an element.
Yeah.
That added to this film, and I think people will enjoy. I chose not to ding it because of it, just because it's not for me. Doesn't mean it wasn't done well.
Yeah. I think it was done well, and I think it was done, I guess if you could say, tasteful. Because it didn't really get like egregious or gratuitous.
No, because it could have gotten really bad with this one in half moment.
It could have really got crazy.
But it didn't get super crazy. But yeah, it was all up in that throat. Yeah. It was nasty. Very successful.
Yeah. And so I do want to mention the cinematographer here is Dave Garbett. Come on, Garbett. He was a cinematographer for The Mummy that just came out.
Right.
Evil Dead Rise.
All them push, pulls, twists, and turns.
He was also a cinematographer in Falling in Love. That is a pun. N is a double N. I Object. Gary of the Pacific. Yeah, I don't know any of these. But yeah, it's good to know that he was. It's visible and very recognizable that he was involved with Evil Dead Rise as well as The Mummy.
Yeah.
But so that is to be said. Good stuff. There's a lot of good spins there. And the further does look well. It does look really good, and they do some interesting things there. I do hope. And there's like almost because the whole thing to get to the further is that you go into a trance-like state essentially to go into the further. But a lot of people that we've been seeing outside of Elise for them to get there, they end up going to sleep.
Right.
They're just astral projecting there.
Yeah.
So, you get a lot of like nightmare dream sequences. So I do want to put on record that the people who are making Nightmare on Elm Street should look into this. I don't know how they would want to correlate that or bring that in, because I think honestly, in a Nightmare on Elm Street, it's not common to see yourself sleeping, but that could be an element they could bring in. I think maybe one or two characters may have done that in the whole series.
Right,
but it's go ahead.
Heather, didn't that happen with her original character when that bitch boy was supposed to be like keeping her up?
But she didn't see herself sleeping when she came in. She just saw him sleeping.
But
in here, you're seeing like the main character Gemma is seeing herself sleeping,
right,
and trying to run back to get to herself.
Yeah.
Because that's the different aspects. I don't know if they would want. I like the idea of it, and I like the look of it. Yeah. So I would like for them to kind of bring that in.
I think the thing that they could keep is the fact that like Mama didn't know she was even asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are seamless.
They could still convey that in a different way without showing that person seeing them.
Yeah, that's always a tough part with the Nightmare on Elm Street anyway, because that was the thing that was like so catchy with it, is that you're sleeping and nobody realized, the audience doesn't realize you are asleep.
Yeah.
But then after a while, 6 or 7, 8 movies, you start to realize you start to predict.
This is a dream.
This is a dream already. I can already tell you're dreaming.
For sure.
So anyway. Sound design. You want to start us off in sound design?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your element.
I mean, honestly, I think that the score for sound design, I give this one a 6, being generous. We had Joseph Bishara return to compose this film after composing the first 5 films.
Yeah.
He also did The Conjuring, Dark Skies, and he also did, he was a producer on Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Ooh.
So he has some good stuff, but as far as actual music in this film, there was only 4 songs.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to really catch any of what they were. I think the film more so just plays as a straight horror, but I also didn't feel particularly inspired listening to The Mummy or Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't feel of all the films that we watched, the scores were very much more impactful. Not just the scores, but the soundtrack.
Yeah.
This had only 4 songs and didn't really have a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And the original score, couldn't tell you where music played a single time in the actual film.
Yeah.
And, that's my thing. There was a couple of great sounds. The only thing I have is, one, there was a demonic voice that was pretty great.
That was pretty good, actually.
Good. And there's a, creepy music that was playing. She enters the further at this one particular part. And the music was good. They also did this thing that I feel like we saw it recently in something. The daughter has this speak and say toy.
Oh yeah.
And they were communicating through the spirits through it.
Yeah.
And that was a good element.
Yeah.
But nothing original, nothing inventive.
That part.
Nothing impactful.
Yeah.
Good for what it was. So I give it a 6.
Absolutely. I also gave the sound design a 6. You got your bumps in the night. This is this is what Insidious has become. Yeah. Because it isn't a lot of sound in this movie. Because the whole thing is that it's ran by jump scares. Yeah. So there's a lot of quiet moments, a lot of silence, and then something will happen. So, so there's not really a lot of sound going on there. And that leads to, again, the predictability. I think that kind of feeds all into each other. I do love the strings that they do for the title card, Insidious.
Yeah. The subtitle, which... For cinematography, I was going to give, because I did put down very nice title card. But then the subtitle, Out of the Further, was so fucking tiny and just slight and quick. I was like, girl, get out of here.
Just a little something to play around with.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
This is a place of business.
And I do. And I love, honestly, they really should have fed into that more. Because that spin was crazy.
Yeah.
It was whoop. And in the movement of the 4DX, it was very good. So, it was a lost opportunity there, and they could have really, honestly, if they would have really leaned into a crazy orchestral score, they might would have been on to something.
Yeah, if they
would have really leaned into that,
Dead shit.
If they would have really leaned into like the Evil Dead, like the
Evil
modern
Dead
one,
and Mummy,
yeah,
had some good
some crazy orchestral old school.
This is crazy.
Like horror music.
Yeah.
If they would have leaned into that, then they might would have had a higher score all around, honestly, because the music can change everything.
Yeah.
We know that. But yeah. So yeah, what's your overall score?
Overall score is a 7.25.
Not bad, not bad. My overall score is a 6.75.
Expected. That was a thumbs down,
Thumbs
folks.
down. You know, it's a little bit better than average, but I guess my high hopes got the better of me.
I think so.
All that to say, this concludes our spoiler-free section. Now's your time to evacuate the premises. Grab your pearls, grab your purses, get your snacks, and go ahead and exit stage left.
Correct.
But if you don't want to exit, you can stick around with us and we will get into the get down. I have some get down things back here, but not like a crazy amount. You know, but this is the spoiler alert.
Oh.
Meow.
I'll let you go ahead and start.
So yes. So Mama and that first of all, speaking of mamas, I thought Ingrid at the beginning, I thought she was already dead.
Absolutely.
When she came home and she was slumped over.
That was one of the things that was really good. That I was like, girl, is your mama dead? Has she been dead?
Yeah, all this time. And that, honestly, that would have elevated this. Because that means you know your mom is dead. Or maybe you're learning that your mom is dead. And you're learning about your power. But yeah, that would have elevated this, I feel like. If she actually was dead and she was slowly realizing.
Yeah, but the reason they didn't do that is because they needed to then mirror the de-evolution and the degradation of how Gemma was going to be with her own daughter. Which I personally appreciated. I like those mirrored moments and those parallels.
Oh, okay.
And I actually thought that because I thought she was dead and her not being dead was better. Because that was at least one more surprise they could put on their notch. Because I was very surprised. I'm like, she's dead.
Right.
Good mama made herself a frozen meal out the garage. She did her own thing, did her homework. And then mama showed up in that damn doorway. Yeah. And then the light was scaring her. And we know, like, you know, the lights really shunned them away in the further.
Yeah.
So it was like, girls, give me your mama's dead.
It is
you
giving your mom's dead.
You closed that door on her.
Yeah.
You gonna wake up in the morning and like find her dead at that table.
Exactly.
You know, but so it was a bit of a surprise already, which I found successful.
Yeah. I think I would have liked it the other way, and then we kind of course we wouldn't have had the parallels. Maybe we would have. Maybe we could have saw it even before this. I don't know how they would have done it, or they could. It probably would have just changed the story completely. Yeah. If they would have went that route instead of the whole parallel, which I didn't like the parallel.
Oh, I loved it. It was one of the best things about the film.
Yeah.
So we see in 1999, Gemma, her mom is a drunkard, druggy, just very violent.
What the cop boyfriend said? Back when your mom was strung out.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when your mom was strung out.
When your mom was high or something.
Yeah.
She was using. She was just like, she was like, you know, I remember the look on her face. I saw my mom in my dream, like, when she looked, you know,
strung out and haggard.
And she was like, no, when she looked evil.
Right. Clarification.
And her mom basically like kills herself in the most kind of ridiculously traumatizing way.
It pretty much is. Yeah.
Into the bathroom wall. And then this door slams on her and it's being held and she can't get in. So we jump forward 20 years. She's a dental hygienist, has a daughter of her own. I was pleasantly surprised to find out, like, girl, you still in the same house?
I was pleasantly surprised too. I thought it was a different house at first too, and that because I saw I saw the mail box, because they do this thing where they put their little handprints on there. Yeah. I thought that she was just like replicating that in a whole new house. Right. But yeah, it was the same house.
It was the same exact house. So that was another surprise. Yeah. Not enough to like impact the score positively, but I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Now we see these spooky ass ghost looking bitches. Yes. But then lo and behold, a neighbor sees them too. Yeah. And they're not ghosts.
They're not ghosts.
They're fucking people.
They're real people. They just look dead as hell. They look demonic as hell.
And they're watching her and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. So now like, think about the fact that we know that this is the guy who was in the chair who had a second set of teeth inside of his head.
That don't really make sense.
it's not that it doesn't make sense, but this is what I'm talking about when I said they've planted seeds for us for more. Now we know that they're not only demons and spirits trying to get here, but they're actual people who were working in tandem with certain demons to cause havoc here and open the gates.
So I guess it's it's more so opening the door to
like
more. That's
more.
the way to look at it.
Exactly.
Instead of it not making sense, it just because we haven't seen it before doesn't mean it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
These are the first time we've ever seen acolytes.
Yeah.
They are following someone who is in the further.
Exactly.
And that someone was a person first.
She was a person
first. So yeah, this is all the first time there's a lot of firsts. Okay.
You know what they say? Walk into the further person first.
Oh.
Will not be thinking about the dragon. Now there were certain things that of course that like got on my nerves. It was very Malum with like the whole cult thing, the Cyrus slamming the ring. I love that the ring did make sense. Why would your mom have this ring? She wasn't a part of the cult. So it kind of gave Malum, but then the fact that the mom wasn't a part of the cult, Cyrus was not her dad, which I was expecting it to be.
Oh, they never talk about who her dad is.
Exactly. We don't know who Maya's daddy is.
We don't.
This ain't about the men's. But the mom pulled the ring off when she killed herself.
And then came back.
And that's why it was in the evidence bag. So that was interesting. And that was another surprise. Again, not enough. But it was pleasant in the moment.
It was. I didn't even process that she had pulled it off that way. Yeah. At that point, I was just like,
you already done.
At that point, I'm like, well, rocking me along.
Yeah. Now they did say that after Papa and the son, did Papa made it out of that when in the red door? Because I know he was holding the door shut.
Maybe he didn't make it out of that.
Is he still in there holding the red door?
I think he is. Let's see.
Go ahead and look that up for me. But anyways, when that red door was shut, it opened this door. And this door turned out to be the door that was holding this, cult leader psychopath behind it. That the mom was in there, had him trapped for 20 years while you was there shit-talking your mama. Your mama did this to save you.
Right.
And you couldn't save your daughter in that own way. I found that very just like painful. You know what I mean? Your mom did this stuff, sacrificed yourself, and protected you in a way that you couldn't even do for your daughter because they actually got your daughter. They didn't get you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But they got your daughter.
Absolutely.
The plot twist that they were working on wearing down Maya at the same time, and the fact that they learned from their first mistake, I thought that was very good, and that was interesting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I've done a little research here on the side. So, yeah, it turns out that no, the dad did not die in the red door. Although he stays behind in the further to hold the door shut so Dalton can escape, he is guided back to his physical body by his father's spirit and wakes up alive in the real world to reconcile with his family.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, but I don't know who locked the red door, but that was one that I was so pissed, girl. I couldn't tell you what happened. I started
honestly, yeah. I'm not quite there with this one, but maybe some of that's happening. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see that ring, but yeah. Okay, so all that kind of makes sense then, because my biggest thing was like, girl, that doesn't make any sense that this will be happening to you now. My biggest thing was like, why is all this happening to you now, 20 years later?
Yeah.
But that's why.
He was trapped behind the door.
He was trapped behind the door. His door was not open. His door only opened because they sealed
that red door.
The quote-unquote original red door that we knew about before. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now, I do want to talk about that thread, honey, under our favorite line in the movie.
Molar.
Our favorite line in the movie, it was a thread that became hair, and she was just pulling on it. She was unwinding him. When she first saw the thread, and I saw that she was about to pull it, I almost bust out laughing then. Kind of like she about to unravel this man in this damn...
Yeah. In this damn dentistry.
In this dancery, yeah. It was very much that. So, yeah. What else did I have? I actually was surprised that this demon, CL, I don't know what his...
Cyrus.
Go ahead. Oh, I said Caleb. That's not right. I was surprised that he actually pulled it off.
Oh.
I thought they were gonna stop him before he got to doing what he was doing.
Right.
But no, that plan did not go well.
Absolutely not. No. Yeah.
Well. And that bitch, that fucking double tooth bitch.
Yeah.
He was under a deep sleep. You're not gonna wake me up.
Deep sleep, and
You're not gonna wake me up.
No. They did a very good job to show that, like, Cyrus was ready for y'all.
Cyrus
y'all
was
plan
ready.
didn't even work. And
Yeah.
I love, like, when somebody's like, okay, this is the heist plan. And that's not how the plan even went. And it was something else. But I knew he was going to be successful. He did more than I thought he was going to get away with.
Yeah.
And he didn't waste time. And that's the type of villains that, like, you got to be afraid of.
Yeah.
You know, because you're like, oh, bitch, I got my freedom.
Yeah.
We're doing this now.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. We're not doing this tomorrow. I'm doing this shit
tonight.
Now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's true too. Yeah. I'm out. Let's go and start right now. Let's start right now.
Your daughter.
You know, baptized by the further. Down.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
And you're going down again to bring somebody else back.
Honestly.
You know, it's very much
But his
that.
greed got the better of him. If he had let those other ghouls kill her, then he would have won.
Yeah, he would have.
But because he knew he could get even more demons out and even more minions to do his bidding, he knew that he was about to max out, you know, Maya's ability and kill Maya.
Yeah.
He wanted another vessel, but he didn't anticipate how strong she had gotten and how knowledgeable she was with her own gifts and abilities.
Right, because he essentially I think they mentioned that he was like waking it up.
Yeah.
He was getting her going.
Yeah, because
He
it's
might have got her
activated
a
by
little
the
too
fear.
active.
That's what heightens their abilities to traverse the realms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, things that I just don't know. Well, let me get it on one. The most important thing. Copy boyfriend, cutie, you're a dumb bitch.
Damn.
You're a fucking idiot.
What happened?
You're an actual officer.
What happened?
What if you realize that you were an actual officer? What if you realize, what if you realize that you were an actual cop? And if you called in for backup and you said, hey, these people are squatting in a house and the couple is missing. Then you could just go in and you could forcibly remove them and get them out of there.
Yeah.
Hey, and then also you found the dead bodies up in the attic wrapped in shitty diapers.
Yeah.
Maybe you could actually call the cops in. Are you the one good cop? Girl, and being a quote-unquote good cop, you did the dumbest shit that made you a bad cop. You didn't have to sneak in. You didn't have to do none of this. You are the police, girl. You already know they don't belong in the house. You already know the owners of the house were missing and presumed dead. You already knew that they were squatters. And you know that they're connected to demonic activity. You didn't even have to involve any of that. You could just be like, we have squatters in this house. I have reason to suspect that the owners are dead and hurt. I'm requesting backup. Multiple assailants on foot. And that could have been the thing. I don't know if the budget...
That's a great point. That's a great point. And you know, there was that, you know, in every horror movie, most of them at least, you have whatever's happening to so-and-so, and then you have people around so-and-so that need to be convinced.
Yeah.
And at one point, he was that. He had to be convinced. But even, like, you made a perfect point. Before all that or any of that, even the slightest, even any slightest inclination, you could go ahead and be a cop and get them up out of here.
Just do that.
Yeah, you didn't even have to. Yeah, and because that would have really solved a lot, because the whole thing with those three people is that the acolytes, as we'll say, they can't go to the further on their own. They need a gas or drug to do it.
Exactly.
So if they are in jail, they cannot access the gas. Therefore, they cannot protect the red door.
At all.
Yeah, that would have undone everything.
At all.
Easy.
Yeah,
Well, we're done for the day.
Another thing. Is the power in the soul and not the body? I'm guessing because when you actually project, that's your soul, your spirit that's out, and that's what's coming in contact with the demons and the spirits and bringing them back. Because we've already seen possession in the first. The lady in black possessed Papa. Yeah. And that's when he choked out and killed the lease. Yeah. Which you probably should have gone to jail for that. But why didn't Cyrus just take her body? Why didn't someone else just take her body and use her body to do it? I guess unless her...
Right. Oh, the power's in the soul.
It's in the soul, not in the body.
That's what we have to assume.
Yeah. One last qualm. They found a way to kill a black woman.
They did. They did. And then you did say that. You did say that.
Y'all was just gonna find a way. Y'all was just gonna find a way. But that's all I got. That I
very
really
much
needed to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's really
Oh, the madhouse scene was great.
What scene?
The madhouse. But when she was sleepwalking in her house. When she woke up in her house, the ghouls and everything were in her house. I guess when Gemma first went into the further and then it got Maya. She was in her house, right? And then Claire jumped out the window.
Yeah.
And all of the demons were in her house. So she was fighting to get out of her house to get down the street to the neighbors to where Maya was being held.
Right.
So then, right?
I guess.
Or did they bring Maya back to her house to do this?
I don't know. That was a confusing part for me too, as well.
Because it was like,
what house are we in?
I think they were in her house, and Maya was still at the house with the lady that was dead. And then ultimately, he was like, bring her to me. So they brought her, and then all the demons and the ghouls then went to the house. But they were coming from upstairs.
Yeah.
So it was like, whose house are we in? That's the one consistency.
That's something that
I was like,
the same
she's
thing.
getting messy here.
Yeah.
And then, where's the black woman's body?
That part too. I mean, I guess, why would that be your argument?
Because when she did what she did with the house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
But anyways.
Yeah, I guess.
All in all, good enough.
Yeah, all in all, it's fine.
Go see it in 40s so you could get spin around topsy-turvy.
Exactly.
I'm telling you now.
Exactly.
If you very skinty and you very light, brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
You know.
Brace yourself.
I'm well over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And I damn well needed a seatbelt. I was getting thrown to and from.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, honestly. But the movie's fine. The movie's fine.
Oh.
It's fine.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
Please make sure that you check out our review. We have a Real RaD collaborations that we're working with Real Talk and Banter podcast, dropping a full season review every single week on the Lantern series. New episodes posted of Lanterns on HBO Max every Sunday at 9.
Absolutely.
And then come and find us on YouTube, as well as Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcast. For our unofficial recap episode, the four of us, Relly, Deli, Omari, and Jay, breaking down the episodes. We all got varying degrees of love of the Green Lantern and comics. Come for a laugh, come for a scream, come for some facts, come for different perspectives.
That part.
First episode went up on Thursday.
True.
And also don't forget we did End of Oak Street. Go ahead and run those up.
Always remember to like the videos, comment. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
And that gives us more exposure as well when you guys comment, more interaction, more engagement.
Absolutely, absolutely. Those of you on Apple, our Apple family, thank you guys so much. Download these. I know a lot of people got these trips coming up.
Yeah.
Hitting the road for the holidays coming up. You know, we're getting close to holiday in September. We have Thanksgiving, the holidays. Download our podcast. Have them ready for you. You're in the Virgin Islands. The power could go out. You don't want to be dependent on the internet. Download us, stream us,
that.
like, comment. Love you, baby. Bye.
Bye.